Welcome back to 843 TV. We get to talk with JOToole now. We're so excited that you have us back. And so much always going on here. We're at the Beaufort, the digital corridor. Talk about what's going on in this space.
Well, we are really excited to be working in cybersecurity. Warren Parker has done a really masterful job bringing the South Coast Cyber Center together, Department of Defense funding. And so you've heard from the Digital Corridor, you've heard from USCB, another critical partner is the Technical College of the Lowcountry, and really cultivating a new sector of economic development in Beaufort County, and it's going quite well.
Well, that's what we've heard. We've had Brian and Jess on earlier, and they're just telling us about, we've been talking to you about the cybersecurity program for a couple of years now. It's something you wanted to do, then you're looking to have accreditation for it, and here we are. So that's congratulations to the whole team here, part one. And part two, what does the EDC participate with? How do you guys play in this?
Well, we are doing a lot to, one, cultivate talent, identify what the talent is, because the fuel to economic development today is workforce. And so obviously with the partners we've already discussed, identifying that. Then through the grant, we're developing an app so that military folks can quickly take their military operational specialties, MOSs, and convert those to resumes so employers can see what talents they could bring to the job. And then there are training programs to get them trained up. And we're very flexible in the region to customize the training programs to the specific needs. We have been making trips. Last week I was at the Cybersecurity conference in San Francisco, 50,000 attendees. We're working with lead generators in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Boston, DC, Montreal, to identify companies that are looking for people. I think Jess O'Brien in the earlier segment spoke about the need for workers in this. And if you look at what's going on in the Ukraine, I think wars are going to be fought much differently. And cyber is where I think the big battlefield is going to be. Today in America, they estimate anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 unfilled jobs. Now, when we're talking to employers, what fascinates them about our region is not only the warm welcome they feel here, but the workforce and military people who show up to work on time, are responsible. If they're given a task, they follow every step. The DNA of the workforce we can create or identify for them. And now some of the folks, and Charlie Stone of our office is at the military bases every 2 weeks identifying opportunities for some 2,000 exiting military in Beaufort County each year. Some of them may go back to their hometowns, but companies coming out of COVID are realizing that workforce can be remote, and Beaufort's a nice alternative.
Discipline is the word I'm thinking when you described about people in the military, because they are very disciplined and those would be great candidates. And again, with Beaufort County and the military base, just a great pool for that workforce, and that's a huge need. Right,
yeah. We can see it on the calls we do with companies, that when we tell them, oftentimes the folks we're talking to, I can think of 2 companies in Boston, one in Waltham and one in Boston, and the principals have a military background, or they have an employee who's shining today has that military background, and they say that's the kind of disciplined individual that we need to build our company with. So it's going quite well. We have the space here at the Digital Corridor, and then we're also cultivating space with the City of Beaufort, South Carolina Alliance, some 5,500 square feet right above us, so companies can come here and land and evaluate the market with their feet on the ground.
And let's talk about that for a second, because you are so busy with that, bringing businesses into our community, into the county. How is that going? Give us an update, because we haven't seen you in a while.
We just our fiscal year runs from July to June. We're wrapping up our most successful year in Beaufort County. We have over $60 million of new investments in the county. We have 268 jobs that were created, averaging about $46,000 a year, so that's an average. And it's just been a great year. What's most interesting is that our target is to generate about 100 leads a year, and we're at 127. So the interest coming out of COVID, the momentum we had going into COVID, it's all pointing to Beaufort's a great investment.
And let's plug Beaufort County. Why wouldn't you want to live here? The weather is great year round, the opportunities, the lifestyle, just natural beauty, just wonderful place
Yeah, I
to
know
come.
Charlie Stone's working on the big building, the 55,000 square foot. How is that working?
It's working really well. We've signed our first lease for 50% of that, and the company only wants to stay there for 2 years because they want to build adjacent to that a 200,000 square foot building. So growth is going to precipitate growth, and we always have to say this, I know it resonates with you all, that people love Beaufort County for its environmental beauty, for the scale. And so we'll continue to work with our environmental friends and be very cognizant of what people want in their community. So I think we're on the right track. If I look back on one thing that surprises me 4.5 years into this is that to date, by keeping our ear and our communications good with the community through a program like this, we haven't been opposed on one project we've done yet, and we have a pretty good pipeline of projects.
That's great.
You know, and well said, because I think it's because you're so diligent about everything you do. Your team is just, like I said, diligent. You watch everything, and it's just wonderful. So congratulations for that year.
Oh,
It
thank
means
you.
a lot.
And it's
Well,
been a pleasure to see the growth over the time with having us here on the show. So thank you for having us. Too.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
it's a real privilege to get our message out. I tease people that in Beaufort County, in the absence of information, they'll make up their own. So communicating as often as we can allows us, and it's a good business practice, to never surprise people. So we don't want to surprise people. We want to be very transparent about what we're doing. And if we're running into a wall, we want to be able to communicate that to an investor and not waste their time.
Exactly. Well, John, as always, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting the show. And thanks for joining us. This is 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.